So I used to watch and really enjoy tier lists. Yes! So I'm going to give you my thoughts. My thoughts on what I think is a good legend. We'll go through legends first, and then we'll go to weapons second. Let's figure out the tiers. B is right in the middle. Let's say B is the point of balance. The point of balance is B. Okay? A is slightly above average. C is slightly below average. S is somebody that probably deserves a nerf. And then D is probably somebody that deserves a buff. So we should try to see the most people, most legends in that B area. There will be some that are probably A, C, and then maybe one or two S, one or two D. But that's kind of the ranking we're looking for here. Do we want to talk about casuals? Do we want to talk about ranked? Or do we want to talk about competitive? Because they are all kind of a little bit different. Let's talk ranked. Ranked. Where would I put Lobha in ranked? Lobha, I would say there's two people. Lobha is similar to Pathfinder. Lobha, I'm going to start with Lobha in B. She's probably fairly balanced. You have to think that there are going to be characters that are better than Lobha that you're going to want to be picking up in the A and the S. Lobha maybe as a flex character for somebody that's very good with Lobha, and maybe for a late game. Maybe for a late game circle. She's nothing special. I might bring her down to C. But I want to see where everybody else kind of lands. So we'll wait. I don't think she's very good for ranked play. I know I've seen people run her, but her little teleport animation, it totally shows where you are and where your team is, and I feel like it's going to get you killed. I feel like she's going to get you killed. I feel like she's B. Okay. Like your Marmor Watson heal steals is nice. I agree. So I think that her ultimate, I think her teleport is more of a negative than a positive in high ranked play. And I think that her ultimate is good for the team when you're in a bind and you want to loot boxes where other people are they're wiping squads inside a building behind a wall. You can't see it, but your team really needs stuff. Because in ranked and competitive play, you'll see the people have 4 shield cells, 2 syringes, and they're just like trying to survive with what they got. They're trying to use Watson. Maybe we'll talk about Watson next. They're trying to use Watson to get their shields back so that they don't have to expend the resources to get their shields back on shield cells and shield bats. So let's talk Watson. Watson is definitely above average. You'll see Watson picked up quite a bit alongside Caustic. So Watson and Caustic, I would put on the same tier of A. They're the top 2 defensive characters. Watson's got her fences. Caustic has his gas traps. Watson's not offensive. Caustic can be offensive. She's S tier in comp. They are spooky. So what I'm thinking though, for S tier to be S tier, they deserve a nerf, and D tier deserves a buff. A is who you're probably trying to pick up, is going to be your 3-man. B is going to be maybe a flex pick, and C is somebody you're probably never really going to choose. I think Watson and Caustic don't need a nerf. I think they're good as is. Watson already received a few nerfs. I think in season 2, Watson was probably up here, or the first season of ranked, and now she's moved down to here after she got her ultimate nerf of only placing 1, and then I think she got a fences nerf as well. I might be wrong on that. Gibby is S tier? Maybe. We'll get to Gibby. So Watson, awesome at recharging your whole team shields in the late game circle. Caustic, good for being a little bit more offensive if you want to be pushing teams. He did just get a buff where you're no longer slowed. You still get that blurry vision as a teammate, but you're no longer slowed in Caustic's gas. I don't think they're going to change that. It seems to work fine, although you can move full speed. It's still kind of tough to see with that blurry vision. obviously. Okay. Caustic is on the edge of S. So you think Caustic would be here-ish? I think you're right. I think he's better. Let's say better than Watson. His traps are easier to deal with though, I feel like. But they go off for so long. And he can also run out into the middle of a fight, toss a couple traps down, make a little bit of a wall, shoot those all, and then basically have a Bangalore smoke. So Bangalore. I'm going to say Bangalore is B tier. I think she is the definition of a super balanced legend right now. I think she, above all else, is one of the most well-balanced characters. She gets her speed boost. She gets her 2 smokes. They're on a solid cooldown length. And she doesn't have, I don't think she has a small frame character. So that's good, because if she did, that would make it a little bit tougher. She'd basically have 90 health instead of 100. But I think Bangalore's in a good spot. I'm going to put her at B. Let's see. And yeah, in competitive play, because you're not always in a fight necessarily, Bangalore's passive that makes her move faster seems to get triggered a decent amount of time in those times where you really need to get out of something or flank around a fight. It still gets triggered by weird things like a sniper shot going past you that's like way out over there, or it's like under you or above you, but it does still trigger it. And I don't know if they'll be able to fix that. So that it like the bullet, if you're in a building and it goes like at the roof and it hits the roof and you still get that double time speed or whatever, the 35% boost in speed, or 25, whatever it is now, I'll have to check. Yeah, if they fix that, that'd be nice, but I don't know if they'll be able to. All right, Lifeline. Where would we put Lifeline? I personally, well, I guess she's balanced, right? She's balanced. She has her passive heal. They gave her a super mediocre buff. So maybe a little bit better for ranked play, because she now can get some extra items from those blue chests. Maybe just a little bit better. I'm going to still say that she's a B tier though. She is completely outclassed by Gibraltar though. Gibraltar gets her passive essentially on her revive when he has his dome down. His dome comes down every 35 or 45 or something seconds now. It only lasts for 12 seconds instead of I think 18. So it got a slight buff, or sorry, a slight nerf. I think before the most recent patch, Gibraltar was in S tier, and now he's down. Man, he's still borderline S and A tier. I still think Gibraltar is amazing. But he is the better version of Lifeline. There's no other way to say that. He's just the better Lifeline right now. Lifeline was amazing in the beginning seasons when Gibraltar didn't have Fortified. He didn't have his boost in health from that. The inability to get slowed by shots. He now has that. His arm shield got a slight nerf, but it's still strong enough where if you take a Kraber shot, a sniper shot, it's going to break it. It's not going to do damage to you. So he's still definitely above average. You'll see him picked up in competitive play. Revenant got a buff recently where he can now throw 2 of his little shadow balls. But is he relevant enough for ranked play? That I don't know. I don't think that he is very relevant with his death totem and his ability. I think he shuts down some cool abilities, but it's hard to hit those. He can shut down doors. I'm gonna leave him at B. I think he's balanced. B for balanced. He can shut down doors. Those things last a while, and it takes like 30 seconds or something to get your ability back. So it actually affects you for a while. Aqua, thanks for the sparks. Caustic is top. You think Caustic's above these two? We'll leave him where he's at. Revenant Anything else with Revenant? Death Totem is okay. Yeah, you'll see him locking down doors. And that's kind of what his abilities are used for. He's okay. He's okay. They improved his ult a lot too. Yeah, that's true. They did make it so that you get more health back. I would say he's okay. This is really for a pushing comp, and you're not going to see that kind of play that late in the game competitively. I haven't seen it. I don't really see him ran in Diamond or Masters or Predator games. They're all the same lobbies, but I don't see him ran much. Okay, Bloodhound, our first man that I think is underpowered. I think Bloodhound is not a great legend. I know people love him. I know they love his scans. I know they like running fast for a little while, but you know who else can run fast for a longer while? Octane. Octane can do exactly what Bloodhound does, but better. He just takes a little bit of health damage. Bloodhound is good for scouting where your enemies are, but with how prominent shots are on the map, I don't think that it makes worth. I can't imagine why you would ever drop any of the characters above Bloodhound for Bloodhound, because you can have crypto, you can have somebody in the sky that can see people around the map, somebody that can ping banners, grab your teammates' banners with his drone, res them. I think that crypto is actually above the point of what I would say is a balanced character for ranked. And the reason is because those late circles, crypto can drop his ultimate, which if you're a good crypto, which I am not, I think you can do a better job of getting that ultimate off reliably and not have that thing shot down. I've been having it shot down a lot recently in Diamond, but I think that crypto's explosion with that EMP, it knocks down all traps. There goes all of Watson's stuff. There goes all of Caustic stuff. The fact that crypto is almost a hard counter to two of the top defensive characters just kind of puts him on the same tier. And he can also farm his Evo shields with his ultimate. I think he's just a completely all-around better version of Bloodhound, and I think Bloodhound is probably is the worst legend right now. I think Bloodhound, it might be the only one that we see in C tier because he's so bad. He's so bad. He doesn't have anything to offer the team. Octane might be there too. Octane's probably there too. Octane doesn't offer anything to the team either. In those late game comps, it's a comp for a reason. You want to have a team, and I would agree that Octane doesn't bring anything. He doesn't bring anything. Who is Octane similar to? I would say Octane is similar to Bangalore, where you can get that speed boost and speed increase. Maybe Pathfinder, maybe. Just because you can get a speed increase fairly frequently, you can get around the map a little bit quicker. He's good for kill race. But he is not good for competitive play. You won't see this guy using his jump pads for competitive play. Octane can sprint past you to steal your loot, so there's that. There's always that. Okay. Then we've got Pathfinder. Pathfinder just got a huge nerf. He went from 15 seconds to 35 seconds on his grapple, which is pretty dang killer. I think Pathfinder, is he the point of balance? Are we going to see Pathfinder in any matches? I haven't seen him a whole lot. I do think he's better than Octane. I do think he's for sure better than... Is he balanced, though? Is he balanced? Without his grapple, is he still balanced? He still suffers from being a small character. He takes extra damage for that. He only gets his grapple every 35 seconds. He's on a Wraith cooldown. They don't play him because he's salty. I agree, but I don't think he's good anymore. I think he needs that grapple was the only thing that Pathfinder really had going for him. But I have to think this is competitive play, so let's put him back up in B. And the only reason I'm putting him back up into B, it's not for his ultimate where he can get your team across the map. I think that is just, it gets you gunned down in competitive play. Wraith is just better for rotations. I think that what Pathfinder might be good for is the beacons. I think he's okay for the beacons. His beacons are probably okay. We're going to say he's balanced because he's got the beacons and he can kind of do a full squad rotation or get your squad across the map a little bit quicker. Maybe you were lagging on a fight. The zone's moving. You don't want to take extra damage. Taking damage in competitive to the zone means you have to use up heals, and you don't want to be using heals. So we'll say he's balanced. Okay, Mirage. Mirage got a huge buff. However, do we see Mirage much in ranked? I actually have been seeing a decent amount of Mirage. His ultimate is super disorienting. It's hard to know if there's one team fighting, if there's two teams fighting. If you see all those Mirage clones and it's been a little bit since that ultimate went off, those things are all over the place. And you can't tell, is that one team, two teams? Are there three teams in this fight? Because when some of those happen and there's so many teams fighting, it's hard to tell. His coolest feature, I would say, which people are going to get used to, and this is going to become pretty irrelevant if you're close enough to hear it, is his passive, where he can now heal a teammate and become invisible and make that teammate invisible. I'm going to put him at B. I don't think he is on the same tier as these guys. But I do think that he's probably in between A and B. If I had to say, he's probably B+. Like I would say Bangalore might be B+. But I think he's more. He's still the meme lord. He's still in B tier, you know? He's still in B tier. Okay, and then we've got Wraith. I think that Wraith is the most important legend to be playing in competitive. Completely. I almost want to I'm going to put Wraith in S tier. I don't know if she needs a nerf. She's had plenty of nerfs. Her kit is just so good. The ability to mitigate, she can go through, she can phase through all of his stuff. She can go through gas. She can stop the effect of gas. She can stop the effect of Watson. She can phase through Watson's fences. She can phase through Crypto's ultimate. She counters everyone that's in A tier. And she has better rotation for your entire team than Pathfinder does. And if you're getting aimed at, she tells the whole team, hey, by the way, I'm getting aimed at, or hey, by the way, there's traps nearby. And she has everything that you need for a competitive team. If you're not running a Wraith up in the competitive level, which everybody is, you should start. Yeah, you can phase out of Arc Stars, you can phase out of Thermite, you can phase out any damage that's going to be taken, you can phase out of it. I kind of agree. I think that I don't know if she needs a nerf, because she did get a nerf where Wraith before this last nerf, what you would see in competitive and ranked play was a team with a Wraith. They would sit outside the zone, just outside the zone, and they would phase in and out of that last circle. As the teams would fight, whoever had a Wraith up, you could survive longer outside the circle with the Wraith portal. What they did was 4 seconds of that portal being outside the zone, it destroys the portal. So that's that. I think that Wraith is still super top tier though. I think she is S, but I don't know if she needs a nerf. She is just really good. She's really good. All right. So that's, I would say, competitive.